Before School by A.R. Hale. The coffee shop in the early morning does not invite people to linger. It doesn't have to. The place is busy without trying, heat rising from the pastry case, the espresso machine exhaling in short, irritated bursts, the air carrying that sharp braid of roasted beans and toasted bread, and something faintly citrus from whatever the floor was wiped with before the door was unlocked. The bell above the entrance rings and rings, never in a rhythm that makes sense. People enter like punctuation. A commuter with a knit cap pulled down to the eyebrows, a pair of construction workers who speak in half sentences, a student who looks furious at the concept of morning itself. Paper cups slide across the counter. Coins clink. A chair scrapes like a small complaint. He has been standing in the same spot for too long. He holds his phone without looking at it, thumb hovering as if he might unlock it. Check the time, check a message, check anything that would make the minutes behave. Then he decides that would look desperate and drops the phone back into his pocket. He grips the strap of his backpack, loosens it, tightens it again. He tries to stand like he belongs here, like he isn't waiting on one person to decide whether his morning will feel normal or ridiculous. This place is his favorite, or rather a habit. It's close enough to the route to school that it makes sense, and far enough from the school that it feels like you've done something on your own. It's the kind of spot where staff recognizes faces, where same regulars appear like clockwork, and no one makes a big deal out of it. He started stopping here last week on his way to school. The hot chocolate was the thick kind with real chocolate taste, not the watery cafeteria version. He loved it. That was true. It was also a good excuse. Because the other truth, the less tidy one, is that he once overheard her telling her friend she lives next to this coffee shop, but he had never seen her here, not even once. Yesterday, when he mentioned the place at school, offhand, like it was nothing, like he hadn't rehearsed the line in his head twice, he watched her face. You go there? I live so close to it, she had said. Yes, yeah, he replied, too casual, before school sometimes. I've heard the hot chocolate is good. He blinked. It is. Her interest landed in his chest like a small weight. He hadn't planned to invite her. He had planned to keep everything normal. But the words came out anyway, fast and untested. You could come tomorrow, he had said, if you want, before school. She paused, just long enough to make his stomach drop. Then she said, okay. The bell rings, breaking into his thought. He looks up too quickly. An older man in a navy coat, already talking on the phone, already annoyed at someone who isn't present. He looks away as if he hadn't been staring at the door. He tells himself he's early. He tells himself she's late. He tells himself he didn't even expect her to come. That last part is a lie. Of course, he's expecting her. Last night, he replayed the conversation and found new ways to cringe at his own tone. This morning, he got up earlier than necessary, brushed his teeth twice like it could scrub out embarrassment, and walked here in the cold with his hands in his pockets and his thoughts doing too much. Now here, now he's here waiting, telling himself that if she doesn't come, it's fine. It won't be fine, but he'll survive it. The bell rings again. He looks up, and this time it's her. She steps in, her hair pulled back, cheeks pink from the cold, backpack hanging off one shoulder. She pauses just inside the doorway, scanning the room, and his whole body reacts like he's been startled. Relief rises too fast. He feels his face shift into something like a smile and crushes it immediately, as if smiling would give away too much. She sees him. Her expression changes, small, quick recognition, then something else. A flicker of surprise that she made it, or that he did, or that this is actually happening. She walks over. You're here, she says, as if it isn't obvious. The stupid part of his brain wants to answer. Of course I'm here. I've been here for a lifetime. He forces himself to say something normal. Yeah, he starts, then tries again. Yeah. He laughs nervously and nods towards the counter. You want to order? Yeah, she says, before we are actually late. They step into line. It moves fast, which is good. It gives them something to do beside look at each other. The woman behind the counter is older, with silver hair in a bun, and the kind of calm that comes from having heard every possible complaint about coffee before 8 in the morning. Her face is patient, her eyes are sharp. What can I get you? She asks. He opens his mouth, then closes it. Words abandon him completely. She glances at him. Hot chocolate? She prompts like she's seen this exact type of boy before. His ears burn. Yeah, two. Two hot chocolates. Anything else? The woman looks at the girl. The girl stares at the pastry case, serious, like she's making a financial decision. Do you get food too? She asks quietly. Sometimes, he says, if I'm hungry. That was a terrible answer. It's mild teasing, but it lands like a gift. He exhales, a laugh almost escaping. I don't know. Bagels are good. She squints at the case. Which bagels? He points. Everything bagel. That's so aggressive. It's a bagel. It's a lifestyle choice. The woman behind the counter makes a sound that might be a laugh. I'll do a plain one, the girl says quickly, as if her preferences might reveal something intimate. Two hot chocolates, the woman says, nodding. One everything bagel, one plain. He looks at the girl. Do you want cream cheese? She hesitates. Is that allowed? It's a bagel, he says. It's literally allowed. Okay then. Okay, she says, then correcting herself. Yes, please. Cream cheese. He pays before she can reach for anything. The movement is automatic. He's done it here too many times. She opens her mouth to protest, then stops. That was fast. It's muscle memory, he says, immediately regretting the phrase. She raises an eyebrow. You have coffee shop muscles? Don't. She smiles for real. Okay, I won't. They take their number and step aside. They stand too close to the counter, then shift away like they are in the way. They drift towards the window where no one is currently claiming territory. He realizes his hands are clenched and forces them to open. So, she says, watching steam rise from someone else's cup, you come here every morning. Most mornings, he says. Not weekends usually. Why? She asks, then catches herself. I mean, you don't have to. No, he says quickly. It's fine. Before he knows it, the words are out. I started coming because I thought you might be here. She turns towards him. What? Heat crawls up his neck. Not in a creepy way, he says, hearing himself add too much, explain too fast. She laughs. That sounded worse. I know. The hot chocolate is good. And yeah, he turns beet red. She holds his gaze a beat longer than he can handle, then looks away, suddenly interested in the napkin dispenser. That's kind of insane, she says. Yeah, he pauses. Sorry. Don't apologize, she says. It's just bold. He almost says, it wasn't bold, it was panic, but stays quiet. The woman behind the counter calls their number, cutting through whatever was forming between them. They carry the tray, two hot chocolates, two bagels in paper sleeves, two flimsy plastic knives that can barely cut butter, let alone bread. He leads without thinking, heading for his usual table by the window. You already have a table? She asks. Sort of, he says. I sit here a lot. That's adorable, she says, then looks faintly annoyed with herself. It's not adorable. It's a little adorable. He tries not to smile too obviously. They sit. The table wobbles. He braces it with his knee without thinking. He watches. You do that like you've trained for it. This table is dramatic. So is everything. So is the everything bagel. He snorts. The laugh escapes, and he doesn't regret it. They eat in a comfortable silence, not empty, just occupied. The shop breathes around them, cups clinking, adults murmuring about adult things, the bell chiming again and again. She takes she takes a sip of hot chocolate and closes her eyes briefly. You were right, she says. This is good. Told you, he says, then adds because he can't himself. It tastes like actual chocolate. She looks at him. You have said that to multiple people, haven't you? He freezes. No. You have, she says, delighted. You've definitely given a speech. It wasn't a speech, it was a pitch. He opens his mouth and then gives up. Maybe. She smiles and he feels the absurd thrill of having made someone smile with words he didn't rehearse. He looks away to hide it and sees a woman step through the door, scanning the shop. His stomach drops and lifts at the same time. His aunt. She is in a long coat, hair loose, always looking mildly amused. She spots him immediately and smiles like she already knows everything. She doesn't walk over, she doesn't interrupt. She just smiles. A smile that says, I see you. His body goes rigid. The girl notices. What? Nothing. That was not nothing. My aunt, he says, staring into his cup. She glances carefully. The aunt smiles wider and lifts a small, almost invisible wave like a secret. She's very pleased, the girl says. She always is. That's terrifying. It is. The aunt turns and leaves. The bell rings cheerfully as if it approves. After she's gone, the air feels different, exposed, like curtains were pulled back. So the girl says lightly, not lightly at all, she thinks this is a date. He chokes on his drink. It's before school, she says quickly, so it doesn't count. He looks at her relieved. Exactly. Before school rules. Before school rules, she repeats, like it's official. They eat faster after that. There's a tap on the window. His aunt stands outside, tapping her wrist in an exaggerated watch gesture, eyebrows raised. Then she waves and strolls off across the street. The girl laughs so suddenly she nearly snorts. Oh my god, she just did the time thing. He drops his forehead on the table. I can't. She's incredible. She's a menace. She's doing her civic duty, she said, pulling out her phone, keeping minors on schedule. He watches her laugh and realizes it's the best sound he'd heard all week. They glance at the clock at the same time and move at once. The table wobbles, his cup slides. Both their hands go for it. Their fingers brush the sleeve, too brief to be romantic, too exact to ignore. The cup tips. Hot chocolate spills, dark and sudden, racing for the edge. No, I am so. They stop. Apologies won't reverse physics. The older woman appears with napkins like she'd been waiting all morning. Here, quickly. You'll track it everywhere. They wipe frantically. The napkin disintegrates. The napkins disintegrate immediately because napkins are never built for emergencies. I ruined it, he says. You didn't ruin anything, she says. It's hot, it's chocolate. It's dramatic by nature. That's your thing now? It may be. It might be. They dump the napkins. He grabs the sticky tray. She adjusts her backpack. They lurch toward the door with graceless urgency of people who have forgotten how to stand. You go ahead, he says, holding up his hand. I'll wash up and come. She pauses at the door, breathless, cheeks flushed. He almost says something stupid and stops himself. Tomorrow is my treat, she says. Tomorrow? Yeah, before school, same time. You'll come? I came today, she said. Didn't I? He nods too quickly. Yeah, you did. She opens the door and looks back. Her eyes are bright. She hesitates. Before school rules? Before school rules, he says. Her smile slips for just a fraction of a second before she steps out into the cold. The bell rings behind her, cheerful and merciless. He stands there, his fingers still sticky. Thank you for listening.